not that way, So I have to deal with people. I have to deal with people attitudes and getting upset. It's just not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes I do ask myself, what the hell am I doing? So that's what my little story is. Why am I doing this? Why am I taking this abuse? No one's paying me to do this. I'm doing this as a service to offer to small businesses, micro businesses, entrepreneurs, indie artist music. I'm doing this because there was not one. They're not saying that there was not one. Of course, people do everything, but the way I do it, because my show is like a big commercial advertisement, and I give you that free. I even do artwork for free. I don't even charge for my artwork. I've seen people use my artwork before, but it doesn't bother me. If anything, it's putting me more out there. I need to put my little logo at the bottom of my artwork when they're using it and
Yeah,
stuff. But
definitely.
it just broke my heart a little. I know I need to have
Yeah,
tougher skin, but I'm not. I'm still a baby in this stuff.
yeah. Well, then, and ladies and gentlemen, this is when it came to me because Lena was upset about something, I guess, a week ago, and I said, call if you need to. And boom, she took me seriously. She called, which is why I said it. So when she called, I was on the way to Huntsville, and gosh, I even remember going past, I think it was the Tennessee River while we were talking, because I was going to film it. And I said, that's fine, I can film it on the way back. But I got to tell you folks something. This lady does, and I was doing the same thing on BTS radio show too. She puts out money to be on the air so she can give people an opportunity to put their independent work out there. And then when you get somebody, and I told her, I said, there's people I've dealt with that you have, and I put this guy's name out, and she said, that's the guy I'm talking about. And it blew my mind because I thought this was an honorable person. I was seriously sitting there going, this is an honorable guy. And when she told me this was the guy that had, just been belligerent to her, insisted that she, do his whole album on her show, I could not believe it. I believe, that that happened, but I'm just, I was flabbergasted. So I want you folks to understand something. I started doing this probably, 2013 or so on a whim. A guy asked me if I would co-host a comedy show. I said, sure, let me do it. Never had an interest of being in radio, but I said, what the hell. When I got into it and started booking guests, Lena, all of a sudden in my brain, a show came into my head where I wanted to play music, I wanted to have comedy on there, I wanted to have guests, I wanted to put the comedy and the music together where you would hear a song, then you'd hear a comedy clip, then you'd hear a song. I had all these ideas, so I had to leave the guy that brought me into radio because he did not have the capabilities of putting the show together that I had in my head. That's when I started BTS radio show here in Charleston at Kind 5. And folks do not understand how much work it goes into just, I was doing 2 hours a week, and you cut back. And we had this conversation on the show before. So for this guy to come on and, it just blows my mind. And I don't think people understand that. Now, there are people out there, and I've got a friend that's 30-something years, and he lives on radio. In other words, he's a professional. He gets paid. That's the way he makes. That's how he pays his rent, Lena. That's how he pays for his car and his groceries. Is having a radio show, and he's getting irritated because now he's, anybody that can get on, he calls them, amateur jocks or whatever, and that's fine to a degree because I think there are people like you and myself that actually plan out a show or have guests or have a format that we follow, and don't just get on and go, hey, what are we going to talk about today? We plan stuff. And that's what's really insulting about this, too, is that you don't just do a show just so you can have your name out there, just so, you hope somebody hears and puts you on a network. You do a show because you want to give people a voice for their entrepreneurship or their independent artists,
Yes.
And for, ladies and gentlemen, this is a lot of work. If you go to the website, just go to Lena Jones Diamond Network website and look at the work just on the website alone. That's a lot of work that she put into that website. And every week, the work she puts into the graphics for the promotions for this show is a lot of work, too. I mean, this is not just piecing together a couple of pictures and putting some words in a frame with the picture. She works her butt off to get this stuff looking really good. And I just think that's very insulting to this particular person to expect all this from you. But the good news is if he didn't think that you were putting out a good product, he could give a damn if you played his music or not. So I would take it as almost a compliment that this guy was demanding to have his whole album played, because he obviously knows that you're putting something out that people are listening to, or he could just care less, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, he told me that he got a lot of good positive feedback on the new graphic I had put, because I try to update the graphics. I don't want to just keep the same ones. I try to come up with different ideas and different ways to put it out there to promote it. I try to make people feel special. I try to make them feel like a diamond, like a bling, like they are, they're important, and what they do is important. And again, it's people out there, and that's why I don't put pictures of me out there, because it's not about me. It's not about me. I put pictures out, you see icons of me or something like that, or you see a logo with a diamond on it. I don't like putting, for one, I'm not a picture person, and two, it's not about me. The show was not created. So I don't know. I guess it's, I guess I'm going on faith, because for some reason, I can't seem to stop. But and the promotion that I put out there, when it goes into all these different social media networks and stuff, I have to pay for that. That's not free. I don't personally go to all these different networks and do this. That's not free. I do all that, and I don't charge anything. I try to get sponsor help or commercials and donations. That's why there's a donation button on the website now, because on LJDNShow.com website, because I need help. It's growing to the point where I need help, and I've tried to get some internships in here, even when I tell them it doesn't pay. It's a commission if you get the commercial, but people don't understand that. They answer the ad, lots of response on the ad, because everybody wants to be in some type of entertainment field, but no one wants to come in and do it as an internship thing. So so it's hard, and it's getting more and more difficult for me, because I'm handling the whole thing pretty much by myself. In between trying to run a business and a family and all this sort of stuff. It's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Well, I mean, it's well, you said it, and I, it's hard to subscribe to it for me, because then I get starting all these paranoid thoughts. Like you were saying, usually the devil comes in and tries to muck everything up before God can give the blessing to you. So you're discouraged and everything. So that's why I'm like, I can't think that way, because I'll get discouraged real quick. And God knows I sit there praying for,
It just makes me fight stronger. It makes it, let me know that what I'm doing is a purpose out there. And there's people, because I was one that needed someone to help put me out there, put my business out there. And believe it or not, in doing all this with promoting everyone else's business, I haven't even gotten to the point where I'm promoting my own business, really. But I'm working on some strategies for that. But it's difficult when you're pretty much. I mean, I get help here and there, but majority of the work is just done by me. Sometimes I'm up till 4 or 5 in the morning and barely getting to sleep. My husband's getting up to go to work, and I'm going to bed, and it's difficult. And that's why I say sometimes, I ask myself, Why? And there's just so much more I want to do. There's so many ideas where I want to go. It's ridiculous. If I had the right
Yeah.
staff, I don't even know where I'd take off to right
Well,
now.
that's fine, Lena. One at a time. One at a time. You got a
Yeah.
great show going. And well, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm not going to say anything before I should, but let's just say that there's people starting to take notice of the show, and leave it at that. And Lena's got some things to think about because, yeah, there's some folks out there that are noticing the show, and that's all I'm going to say. And Lena knows exactly what I'm talking about. But
Yes, I do.
and that's a congratulations to you. And and folks, we did plan to talk about this today. This thing that happened with this guy is another. I would say, congratulations, Lena. You're pissing people off. That means you're doing something right.
Yeah, I don't like to
When
see
you
people
start,
pissed
I'm
off.
serious. I know, it sounds bad, but let me tell you something. When you start pissing people off, you're doing something right because you're not doing it to make people angry. When you're doing it for the right reasons and you're making people mad, that means you're doing it correctly. That means you're making inroads because that's what I do. I try to help people. I don't try to screw anybody. I don't try to, mess anybody else's career up. I do the opposite. I try to help people. Somebody gets mad, I look at it as, well, I must be doing something right then. Because I'm not trying to do it evil. I'm trying to do good. So if you're trying to do good and people are getting mad, then you are succeeding. So
All
there
right.
you go. There's your pat on the back.
And on that note, we're going to go to a song. Speaking of independent artists, this is a new independent artist, Brian. This one is name is Trace Hafner, and I've been promoting his songs now for a couple of weeks. There's one in particular that seemed to be standing out with people called Lullaby. To me, he has a sound that's very similar to Simon and Garfunkel, the Mrs. Robinson guys. Yeah, he has a real quiet type sound, and of course, I like all types of music, so I play all different types of music. But this one, it just seemed to be standing out. His song Lullaby, so I'm going to put that on now, and maybe while we're listening to it, our guest is calling. Okay?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yep.
Trace Hafner with Lullaby, and Brian and I will be right back.